I think we need to equip everybody with Chat GPT. I had Julia sign up for it yesterday. I told her, write her term papers with it. Write all your papers with it. Do anything that you need to do written with this, because I wish I had it. That is your calculator. Treat that like your TI-85.
Yeah. And I think that they should let kids just use it, but then they have to put their own. If everybody's turning in the wrong paper, you get a D.
Yeah.
Because you're below average. But if you can use it to elevate your message, it is like a calculator. I think that's a great way to put it.
May I have your attention, please?
Don't be tardy to the Coach Mackenzie party. That's right, you're listening to Varsity Tips, formerly known as Nick's Tips with Scott and Nikole, where they sit down and discuss a hot topic to get Nick's hot takes and tips. It's the same show you've grown to know and love. We're just calling it something new to fit the curriculum here at Accounting High. So lace up your sneaks and stretch out, because Varsity Tips is now in session.
I repeat, may I have your attention, please?
This is another public service announcement brought to you in part
by Accounting High.
The views and events expressed here are
of the next generation of accounting and tech professionals leading this space.
The events and suggestions are not to be taken lightly. Children should not partake in the listening
of this podcast.
Anything else?
Yeah. So without further ado, introducing the star of our show,
Nick Mackenzie and Scott Scarano.
We're going to have a problem here.
What's up, Nix?
Hey, Scott.
We have released a solid episode of our show that I'm proud of. It's in the top 4 of all time, like fastest to hit 200. You're in good company with Logan, Stats, and Dave Barrett.
I wonder if it was the topics instead of.
Well, I think it was your suggestion.
It
was your suggestion to be more specific with the title, and that might have been why people picked it up. This Varsity Tips thing is well received.
Maybe because my name's not on anymore.
No.
People thought it was something different.
They know it's yours anyway. So you know what I was going to do? I was going to call it Varsity Tips with Nix, because then it all like kind of not alliterates, but it like kind of rhymes anyway. Like the Varsity Tips with Nix, like all of them have that same. And then I could probably include that in a rap anyway at some point.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, maybe I should have Scott write me a rap for Momentum Accounting.
So you've already asked me that before.
But then I was like, what would I do with it? Would that really, I don't know, that'd be fun.
Oh, so what would you do with it? I think you could flaunt it and use it however you like, and people are going to like it if you like it, right?
I think I'd have to figure out.
Use it on LinkedIn.
The message,
use it as like a background when somebody logs into the website and it's just playing as like hold music, or like, I don't know if they have auto players on websites, but it could be your hold music. You don't even have phone like hold. You could just, I don't know. That's what Nick said. Nick was like, when he first heard one of my raps, Nick Pascarosa, he said people should use it as their hold music.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good idea. I wouldn't mind being hold music. I bet you Dan could. Dan and them probably could. They probably have phone lines.
If I did that, I would want to do an entire music video.
Well, we would. I think I can't do a rap now without doing a music video. So on my next one, I've pitched it to you once or twice, and it's starting to take shape. This is how these things happen. They start as ideas, and then they start to work into something cool. So Rough Riders Anthem, DMX's most popular song. I'm changing my moniker to OKR instead of Lil Toddler this year. That's another like graduation. Like I still love Lil Toddler. I'll still probably use that at some point. But I got to be OKR for the business people. OK Rapper. And OKR is the 3 initials just like DMX. So it's kind of like an acronym. Rough Riders Anthem is going to be the tax accountant's anthem.
Is this just a general rap, or is this sponsored by anybody?
This is a general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is for all the tax accountants out there.
This is tax season. So what I want to do is I want to get maybe Adam Markowitz and Logan and probably Paul, because it was his idea, Paul Glantz, maybe another like popular tax accountant person, and compile a lot of their phrases, sayings, things they want to include, and have them co-write this anthem. It's fun. It's
like an inspiration board. Just have them throw all the phrases they use and then turn it into something.
it's like, it's cool because the song's pretty repetitive anyway. It's like, stop. There's probably a lot of things we repeat and repeatedly do as tax accountants that I could incorporate in there. It's just right below the surface. Like there's just things we do, like we copy and paste, Command C, Command V, I don't know. That's not what I'm going to do, but we're getting there. The beginning, DMX is clicking his tongue. And I'm going to do a 10 key for that noise. It's like a perfect swap, right? I could already see the music video for this one. It's going to be dope.
So Mike started actually going to a real accountant, and he got an organizer for the first
real
time
accountant?
this year.
Are you not a real accountant?
I don't do taxes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But he got his organizer. He's like, I have to fill this out. I could just go do this in TurboTax.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, dude, it's not the same. Just check the little boxes. You don't have to like fill everything out, attach everything. But I thought it was funny.
Well, you can coach them through it. I think it's kind of funny that people still give organizers. I think that that's a thing of the past. You could do a type form and make people not think. That's what we did. We turned our organizer into a type form, and people like it. They don't mind it because they just like answer the questions instead of
it's fun.
Seeing the daunting task.
Yeah, Typeform is fun. My tax accountant still sends me everything in paper and drives me crazy, but I'm like, whatever. He's cheap.
He's cheap. Why don't you go to Ackerman?
I'm waiting. Yeah. He's going to be too expensive.
Should we give a shout out to your tax account? Maybe he listens to this.
No, I doubt it. Okay. But I was going to say with I was thinking about that.
I talked to Ackerman.
With Ackerman, I think Ackerman said he does the tax return with the client, right?
He does, yes, like in front of them. Like
I think that's brilliant, though.
I do think it's a good idea.
I remember, like when I did taxes, there's always open items, and you had like all these questions, and
it just drags out forever.
Just get it done, knock it out. It's kind of like why we started doing all these meetings with our clients. To just get on the call. Do it all
Log
verbally.
into every single website to pull everything you need because you have them right there. They can get their two-step verification. They could be there to pull the documents. If they have their laptop with them, it makes it even easier. I do think it's a great idea. We just don't have an office anymore, so I was trying to defend my stance when I argue with them.
I think you can almost have like an admin, right? Jump on the first 15 minutes that's just helping them gather everything that's less expensive, and then you have the partner or the manager come in, bang out the tax return. Send them on their way.
I think the rebuttal that some people would have to this is that synchronicity and then managing appointments and all of that. Like people want to do things asynchronous now. Like I wanted to talk to Lizanis about helping out with this bracket tournament. He doesn't want to get on a call. He says, can we do it async? Async.
Async. I love that.
And so we've just been texting back and forth, but he's been helping out. He's done these kind of things before. So
I've been doing that
the ropes.
With the one client I do CFO services. He'll ask me a question of like, hey, I'm thinking about paying for this expense or hiring this employee. Can you let me know what the cash flow would look like? So I'll update the forecast, and then I send him a a 5-minute Loom video just walking through all the different scenarios, and then he comments like, hey, thanks. And it's way easier than trying to organize a call.
Yeah, well, Calendly makes that a lot easier now. I love Calendly. Now you could do like these meeting polls. So you send it to everybody that you want to be in the meeting, and you have all your available ones. And then once they're all done voting, boom, you've got the time. And that's how I did the faculty meeting. That's how I plan on doing this Markowitz Logan thing. I was just going to send them both a link. I'm doing all of this stuff just to have fun and create a wrap. Like there's no business part of this one. This is really just to hang out and have fun and make something cool.
But can you incorporate that into the March Appness so it creates hype around it?
That could be the hold music for March Appness. Like maybe if you log in, there'll be a play button while you're voting, and you can listen to that song while you're voting, right?
Yeah.
Voting should only take as long as it takes for you to listen to this song. March Appness has been released to the wild, to the public, and it went pretty well. Nobody's like complain. I had a couple people text me like, I can't submit it. You know, Randy texted me, I can't submit my picks. And I was like, Randy, are you sure it's our problem? Yeah, I don't think this program's working. What's going on? And they said, oh, wait, I can. And it was he said, I can't do the nominations. I submit the team. Basically, he didn't type enough characters in his testimonial. I think it says you must have 170 characters or something like that.
I think I did that too, and then I noticed that it did give me that error message.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the only
which is fair.
Issue. Okay.
Like, it's got to be a legit testimonial for you to get points.
So we've got some good testimonials for Accounting High, actually. I didn't think we were going to be getting voted for anything. Some people wrote some really nice things. I don't know if I should share or read. You know, maybe I should read them. This is our show, right? Let me read Shane Sullivan's. I love his. This is awesome. Ooh, we're not even allowed to be in our own contest. I'm not allowing this. This is too suspect. We could manipulate the hell out of this. No, I'm kidding. We would never do that.
I feel like this is going to get so big one day that you might have to hire a Big Four auditor just to come in and make sure that the votes are legit.
Sully wrote, I would be remiss not to mention what Scott and company have built here. From the wonderful guests to my favorite hosts, Accounting High is essential listening for anyone that wants to build an accounting firm and career the right way. That one gave me tears of joy. I love it.
That's awesome.
We got some other good ones, but I don't want to keep jerking myself off here. Sorry. I've been so clean lately. I just don't it's so hard for me to hold back sometimes.
I know. I've been listening back to our episodes, and you're not trying. Was it like your New Year's resolution not to swear as much?
Yeah, it's not a New Year's resolution. It's that I'm overall trying to clean up my act. I'm getting into trouble now. Like, I think Twyla is distancing herself because I'm too vulgar sometimes. I don't know. She says she wants me to be me, but she just can't be too ingrained into it. And I'm like, I respect that.
She's getting too associated with you. I can see that.
I know. Somebody needs to distance themselves.
I feel like I just gave in eventually. I was really trying to draw the line.
Now people are just grouping us together.
Yep. Yeah, I just give up.
Right? Like, just lean in. Overall, positive reactions to this. But just some things just seem bigger in my head. And I would have thought that we would have had 1,000 people already, right? Apparently, 76 signing up on the first day is a good thing.
That's awesome.
That's a big deal. They were excited about that. So I can also discuss that we have a sponsor for the tournament. We have a brought to you by, not official like inked on the pen, but 100% is what Ignition said. So shout out to Ignition, which I had a good verse for them. 2 verses where I shouted out Ignition in the rap. For anybody that's heard that already. So Ignition's probably going to be the brought to you by for the tournament. It's going to be dope. So we're going to figure out what the prizes are and what's their budget for all the prizes, and we will have some concrete, like, definitive things going on with this tournament, so you guys know it's not just a trip to somewhere. Yeah. It's actually somewhere.
And I know some people were asking about sharing the link for voting and possibly getting credit for that.
Yes.
Some sort of
raffle
points.
Tickets for that. There's going to be so many raffle prizes that are going to be good. Like Tally4 just got off a call with Spencer. They want to give away a big Airbnb gift card.
What?
So we can define the trip of where the destination, wherever. So then this is my idea for this. As they get knocked out of the tournament, then it unlocks, here's another raffle drawing that presented by Tally4. And then we talk about Tally4 for a little bit while we're doing the drawing, while our hand's in the hat or something. It just seems to be evolving. This is the beta year, first year of the March Appness tournament. And I'm super excited. So a lot of people haven't finished their nominations yet, but we've got over 200 different things nominated.
Oh, 200 things have been nominated? This is so cool. This is going to bring up things probably we've never heard of.
Exactly.
I love it.
And this is, you know, the long tail of this is we're going to be able to do top 10 lists in each respective category. So then that's our blog posts the rest of the year, right? So we talk about this aspect of the firm, and here's all the solutions that were voted on by the people for the people. And, you know, we do little snippets on that.
This is brilliant.
It's going to be so dope. This is the ultimate list that we can update every year. They got till March 10th to update or change, would do whatever they want. It's free for all. We're going to also fix it so things are, you know, sometimes people type in things a little bit differently. So we're going to have the unifier where it's just like it recognizes the text that's coming in and then it pulls it in.
Well, once you have the initial brackets, then you can just
the brackets will just be pick and choose. The nomination period, just like somebody nominated their Stanley Cup or the 40-ounce Stanley Cup with straw, like the Stanley, probably the thing they drink coffee with. I don't know.
You do need coffee to do accounting. I could see that.
Another interesting thing, Tax Twitter was nominated, and that is a decentralized, that's not owned by anybody. Tax Twitter is everybody, everything, but everybody sees that as a community. True. And so there is no representative of Tax Twitter. So that's pretty cool, because I was thinking each one of these has a CEO or has somebody that could come on, like in the Final Four. If Tax Twitter makes it to the Final Four, then who's the representative of Tax Twitter?
Elon.
Duh. We get Elon to come on. I don't think he even knows what Tax Twitter is. Dude, David Barrett would love it if we got Elon on. He would come back on and to chat with him. He mentioned Elon like 3 or 4 times. But not one of his idols or not one of his person that he looks up to. Just gave him a shout out a few times. So that being said, this is pretty cool. I'm super excited about it. It's all you know how things just happen in my head and I talk about things a lot and they don't actually happen in real life. I just keep talking about them. Has that happened in the past with me?
No, I feel like you talk about them enough that somebody you talk to grabs onto the idea and pushes it forward.
Okay.
With your guidance.
Yes. Got a lot of helpers, a lot of helpers now, and I'm really grateful for all of them, you being one of them on our episodes. My mom's helping now, so it's easier now to work with my mom than it used to be, let's just say. And that's because of me, not her. She's the same. I can handle more. So also we have a new subscriber sponsor, LiveFlow.
Ooh.
So we're gonna do more stuff with LiveFlow, Nikole.
Back.
Yeah, LiveFlow is back for good. So we're gonna continue this train of LiveFlow flow. You have a beautiful testimonial that you wrote for LiveFlow in the March Appness, but this isn't about that. This is like, in what ways can we incorporate them in the stuff that we're talking about? And that's a solution for this problem and this.
Yes, I love it. I'll tell you how I'm using LiveFlow and what I like about it. I'm using it for a handful of different use cases. Automating month-end close, number one use case. So our process is that the bookkeeper or preparer goes in, does the month-end close. So if you have a prepaid schedule, the prepaid schedule ties to the balance sheet. You can automate anything in the GL detail. You can automate AP aging, AR aging. So my goal with the workbooks is so that whoever the accounting manager reviewer is can go in there and review a month-end file in 15 minutes because the bookkeeper has done all the work and done their own self-check.
So that's automation with an exclamation mark.
Yes, it's pretty dope.
Dope books.
Dope books. Okay.
Dopebooks.com.
Second use case. I built out a forecast in Google Sheets and the live data from
No way.
QBO comes in, right? The actuals. So I'm reviewing the accounting and we have to update something. You just literally hit the little button and it refreshes everything. So you can see the numbers change in front of you.
That's true automation.
We finally hacked it and did it. Like, it's so cool.
Wow. You're a programmer.
I'm actually a paying user, so I actually pay LiveFlow to use the product.
Yeah. It's the truth in advertising and the truth in product feedback.
I don't want to just run one and done ads anymore. That's not what we do with this show. We have PR partners. We have people that we are going to partner with long term, and that's the solution for this problem. And I write a wrap for them, and we do another case study, and we refresh that, and we give them sound bites and things that they can use. So we're an arm for them to use as PR. So if they need an announcement and they need to get something out to their people, we're that megaphone. We're not affiliated with them. We're partnered with them. Or I guess we're affiliated, but we're just more or less partner with them. Anita's awesome. I love her. And so we're going to have Terrell come on a little bit more to do things with live flow. So what's up with Nix? How you doing?
I'm good. We just had you didn't show up to the accounting salon
Accounting Salon
orientation.
first meeting, Accounting Salon happy hour. This is an exclusive club, isn't it?
I showed up to that meeting and oh my God, it's such a good group of people.
It is.
I mean, I probably knew 90% of the people on there
Yeah.
and they're all just like, I just feel honored to have been selected. Only four of us.
4.
I don't know how many submissions there were, but
There were quite a few. It was like 30.
I was
or more.
I mean, I'm so excited for a trip, and we're talking about they're looking for sponsors. So we're doing Seaside, Florida in May, 3 days, and the first day, sponsors or app partners, whoever wants to come in and do sort of like it's like a focus group opportunity, can come in on the first day. So if you're an app and you want to come talk to accountants, you can pay $3,500. I think it starts at to just be there that day with us. So, and then the second 2 days will just be us accountants, and there'll be presentations and bonding. I'm sure there'll be some drinking. I don't know, maybe a little bit.
You think?
But you and I we had a conditional acceptance. I got the email and Amanda said, she let me know I made it, and I was like, yeah, so excited. I sent like a little party emoji back.
Yeah.
And she was like, just to be not transparent, she said, candid, everybody loves you, but this isn't just a party. We actually have to do serious stuff too. And I'm like, okay, I'll be serious.
Wait a second. She did. I think she said that to me too, but I don't think I actually listened to her because all I've treated it as is a party. I haven't done anything. I'm not going to get kicked out.
No, I mean, I remember hearing the stories from last year. So, I mean, I think it's hard not to get excited when we all get together.
But she doesn't know you carry your weight.
responsible.
You're going to be cooking for people when you go there and actually doing dishes and like she doesn't know this. I know the real you. Like you actually are responsible. You just lay on that you're not.
See, that's what happens when I hang out with you too much.
So Salon itself is another inspiration for Accounting High, like Accounting Salon, Accounting High. I love all the people there. Everybody I've met in Accounting Salon is like, they've been chosen as those accounting people. I had Keela on, Keela Hill Trawick. I don't know if you know her, but she's awesome. Her episode was dope. We recorded it on Monday. She just got in as well. Did you meet her on the
I just met her
yesterday?
through Zoom. I haven't met her in person.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
She's so cool. Yeah, that was a good episode we recorded. And stay tuned for that. Yeah, so other news and notes is we're gonna have a newsletter, an email newsletter finally. My mom is the one who's helping with that. That's what I said earlier. My mom's helping out. So the Accounting High Gazette.
What platform are you using for that newsletter?
Drip. It was between
okay.
Drip and MailChimp, and
Okay.
Drip was the one we landed on. I used to mess with ours at the firm. We have Constant Contact, and I used to actually care about that and do all the things there. But Paget also just prepares a lot of it for us now. So they load it up into Constant Contact for us. And I think Matthew just schedules them out. I just didn't want to get into it. I don't like email. I don't want to be in email. I don't want to have anything to do with this email list. So thanks, Mom.
I've been trying to sit down an email for 2 months, but our HubSpot is so messy right now that I'm trying to like go through and clean everything up. But then it's just keep getting messy in the background while I'm doing that. And I'm like, should I just send it out? I don't know. It's really frustrating. I wish we've never would have gotten on HubSpot. It's so expensive.
And you're stuck on there.
And we're stuck on it because all of our, I don't know what to do. It's like,
so you used it in the right way in the beginning, and there weren't that many solutions that you could do what you're doing. Besides Carbon, you could have just used Carbon back then.
well,
But
now
you wanted to integrate it with your marketing.
Yes. Well, we wanted to use the Service Hub eventually. So we did that for a year. So now we use Hiver, which is a Gmail extension.
Yeah.
to do the shared inboxes.
Blake was using that earmark.
So it's a much better solution. But anyway, if you can avoid HubSpot, or if you're not using HubSpot for all of the features like the marketing and sales hub, I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Well, so we do use HubSpot, and it's automated a lot of our inbound flow. Like, we're so close to being able to actually rate clients as they come in too, because the type form pulls in. We got a lot of zaps. So their initial type form pulls in, and it's categorized based on their answers, and we rank them now using Google Sheet. But I think we may be able to just have that automate that part of it too. And we're still on the free plan. Everything we're doing in HubSpot is free. So I think that's why we can't rank them, because of that. But we use it we do a lot of stuff in there as far as, but it's just our inbound stuff. As a lead, when we create a proposal for a lead, it pushes it from HubSpot to Ignition. And from HubSpot to, that's what I said in the wrap, from HubSpot. I had to add Dropbox in there, but you can technically do that. We just don't. But I needed Dropbox because it just sounded good. HubSpot to Dropbox to Ignition. It's a new sensation.
I need to talk to the guys at AppStream. They tagged me in a video on LinkedIn. They have some sort of sales automation workflow that they've built out. So maybe I need to chat with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Chat with them or chat with GPT.
Oh, what was I going to tell you? Oh, you know what I was doing today? I was messing around with GPT, and I said, write an SOP for how to approve a bill in bill.com. Boom. Write a SOP for how to upload an expense to Zero Expenses. Boom. Wow. Wow.
These are the things that we can't even start sometimes. It's like, where do you start for an SOP? And it takes forever. Now, all you have to do is plug and play the different things, right? Like, here's the SOP. This actually is a good idea. I need to start doing this. Is that what happened?
It nailed it. And it was even like the cog is in the right-hand corner on the, like, super detailed instructions, all from starting with logging in to logging off and everything in between. So now when a client asks you, how do I do that? Put it in there.
GPT with the SOP. This is dope. I love this. So that's that might be title of this episode. GPT with the SOP. And SOPs, so like when I said we need SOPs for everything, we are categorizing. We've got them all in Google. Do you know what? That was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. We haven't updated them since, I don't think.
Sometimes
so
I'm
old.
like, it's like you want it, and now I go back. I mean, and if I could snap my fingers and have SOPs for everything, I would. But at this point, I'm just trying to have two people that know every function in the business. So if one leaves, there's somebody in backup, which isn't as scalable, but it's a plug solution for now until we can start, I don't know, using Chat GPT.
Well, we do love our plugs. We can plug things in anywhere.
Okay. So another thing I've been trying out. So Jason Stats had built something called FinDaily back a while ago, and he let it go, basically shut it down, probably because he was too busy with other things. And Luke Templin from A2 Advisors,
the other LT,
bought it. And so he said he basically paid Jason Stats his daughter's college tuition. But it's in beta right now. And I used it before, and I was super bummed that Jason shut it down. It's pretty basic. Basically, what you can do is you can set up emails. It'll pull in Xero data, QuickBooks Online data, and your bank balances. So if you want to have a weekly email or a daily email that goes out to your clients with all the customer, like all your accounts receivable, all your customers and their balances, and then all of your AP, and then your bank balances.
So during his episode, when we recorded the first stats episode, he talked about this. Like, this was just something that they were starting to do, just an idea, scorecarding, sending a scorecard of like a daily. So you're just pulling information from here, and here, and it summarizes it all in an email or a text or whatever. And it was just like an idea that he was talking about. I love this, that it turned into an actual, he built it out and then sold it. Like, That's dope.
Yeah, I love it. And sometimes it's something so simple like that that's so impactful.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to like have that come with our clients that we're doing AR, AP for. Just have that weekly email for them so they're not asking. Because right now, if we're doing AR, our team will send them an AR aging report weekly.
Right.
And I
met Luke last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe. Awesome dude.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's going to be on next week. I think I'm recording with him on Monday. I had a great call with Terrell today. Totally unrelated, but he came up in my conversation. Terrell is like such a sweetheart, man. I love him. Watching my language, but he's awesome. He called me up and he said, well, this is exactly how Anita described him anyway. And I know this about him. He just wants to help and he's just there to offer a hand in anything. And he called up and he said, you know, since the faculty meeting, I know you're busy. What can I do to help, man? And I was like, you know what? I'm struggling with this YouTube thing. And you got this nailed out. You are the media library. You're the librarian and the media center at Accounting High. He's like, I got you. We'll come up with a process. We'll work that into a process and we'll get these episodes on YouTube.
I want to start a YouTube channel.
All right. Keep going.
So we are niching in agencies now, right? So I went to David C. Baker's. He had a seminar on financial benchmarking for agencies. So I went to Atlanta last weekend. So I come back. None of it's super new, but there are a lot of like, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. So what you just went to Atlanta. You just went to this conference to better yourself, to learn more about the industry that you're going to serve, right? So you want to become the speakerhead and the person that pulls in. You want to become the Jody Grundon of your firm, right?
Yes, but the challenge is I absorb all that knowledge, right? And I want to bring it back to my team. And my team can do the execution of compiling all that data, right? Having accrual-based financial statements, building the KPIs, we can put them in Reach, we can have the conversations. But like there's just like this 10% gap that we're trying to fill between them and the strategy behind it, or the so what behind the numbers and what they mean. The story behind the numbers. So is there a way that I can create YouTube videos where I'm educating prospects or existing customers on here's what the number should be, here's what they mean, here's what you need to do if they're not in alignment, and then also use that as a medium. So then we can let the team, my team, do what they do best, which is the actual accounting and compiling of the data without having to feel the pressure of, okay, I need to go present it. And that's because you see me go all the different directions, right? First, I hired a CFO, wasn't a good fit. Then I was like, okay, I think our team can do this, but starting to realize
team pushes back. Yeah,
it's just, I mean, they're doing the accounting. It's really hard for them to also have to try to interpret the data. And I'm the one going out and learning all this, so I'm absorbing all the knowledge. And so then I have to play telephone, and also, you know, Ashley and I were talking about this. She's obviously has the operational, great at operations. I've got the finance side. How can we take what we do really well and without having to go work with all the clients, kind of like this one-to-many education. So I'm sort of seeing momentum.
You're seeing momentum.
Like I've always thought that we would be a boutique. You know, we'd have a recurring accounting work, but we'd also be a boutique consulting business. And as we get more niched into this space, it's becoming a lot more, I would say, like clear on which direction we're going. And actually, Ashley came up to me yesterday, and she's getting the itch to do something on her own. Which I saw. I mean, I'm not surprised. She's not asking to leave. She doesn't want to leave necessarily, but she like wants to put her own name on something and have ownership in something. And part of me is like, obviously want momentum to be the primary focus, but interested. We're going to meet again and kind of go through what she's thinking. But when you have somebody, right, that's that good, that's that driven, it's hard to, you kind of expect that to happen eventually, right?
you can't hold them back.
You can't hold them back.
You can't stunt their growth. Like you're right. And I felt like that with Paget. At some point I needed to spread my wings, and I'm spreading them all right. But I couldn't. I hit a ceiling with the Paget thing. I can't change the name of the firm. Like I can't change the entire makeup of the firm. So I wanted to leave it and do something else because the firm is working and I can't leave. They chained me. I felt like I was a chained, I'm a chained animal, right? That's the way I felt literally. Like that's what came into my head during Accounting Web when I got the call, you can't leave Paget. It's not a good look. Really? I'm going to pay you guys to bounce. No, you can't. It's not a good look. And I'm like, I don't want to hire a lawyer. I don't want to deal with this. Fine. And I went all in. That's the day I came up with Accounting High, the name. And that's when I started to see the vision of this being its own thing.
Yeah.
It's not a firm, but it's a business now.
Yeah, and it's not like she doesn't want to build a firm, but she's got a lot of ideas around solving this issue that our clients have with operations and the gaps they have there, and she's obviously really good at that. And so I'm not exactly sure what she's thinking, but it was just starting the conversation of what would that look like if it's something that's complementary to Momentum, but it would be 100%, and I don't know.
That's the one to many?
Well, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. She listens to the show, so I'll.
It's okay.
I don't know how I feel about it.
She's going to be on the show too. Her and Chris.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so on one hand, I'm excited. Like she's been doing stuff on LinkedIn, and I want her to elevate herself because she's a lot of times behind the scenes, but she's amazing, right?
Yeah. It's giving her another purpose, right? And another passion to drive. But if it also reinforces and drives momentum, then everybody wins. And this is what David Barrett talks about. When you asked him, how do you manage people with high ambition?
Yeah.
It's hard, but that was his answer. And that's what they do. I got the Expensify question by the people that do the hiring. And they said, so what would you do? Unlimited amount of money, resources. What would you do? And I did answer that question, and they said, that's exactly what we're looking for. Like, I kind of cheated because I know what they're looking for, right? Dave talked about that, but it was true. The answer I gave him was truth. And if they ever have an opening that I want to apply for, I'm going to apply, and I know how to answer that question. I would work for Expensify. I love them. But that's hopefully one of our partners soon. After Expensicon, we'll figure out what that looks like.
What was your answer?
So I would make a rap album for Lil Toddler. Now I know the title for that album is The Biggest Lil Toddler. And I would have Lil Baby. I would pay for a Lil Baby feature, which probably cost me $200,000. I don't know how much. I would pay for all these features to have enough features in there to make it dope, like a really dope. So I could parlay that into a dope ass TV show that is just the same thing, like similar to Curb Your Enthusiasm, similar to David Byrd. Not Larry David, but David Byrd's show, and similar to what he did with Lil Dicky. Like it's almost using that as a model in my own way. It's totally unique in my own way, but what they did, basically. So Lil Dicky came out with Professional Rapper, that album, paid for Snoop and had all these other features, used his bar mitzvah money for it, and ran and not only that, but he also ran a campaign on Kickstarter for people to help fund that album. So he funded it, he produced it, he created it. It did take off, and he parlayed that into a show on FXX, and his show is so dope. It's such a good show, and unlike anything else on TV yet, it's exactly like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like the format, the foundationally, the structure of the show, and how he does it, and what he's doing, how he's doing what he's doing. And it's obviously a parody of it because he did a lot of things intentionally. Like his best friend, he lives alone. He lives with a black guy, another rapper, Gata, but so does Larry David. He lives alone now goes by LD. The other one goes by LT, or LD, and then I would be LT. So I don't know. I'm just sort of modeling off of this foundation, this path that they've created for me.
Let me ask you this. So if you have a team member that's an all-star, but is also very ambitious, how do you handle that?
So that would be so hard for me personally.
Right? Because selfishly, I'm like, but momentum accounting, right?
This should be your thing. You should care about this as much as I do, right?
Well, I don't expect her to care about it as much as I do, right? And I totally get where she's coming from. And so part of me is like, well, that would be cool if you could do something that relates to what we do, right? But it's my initial thought is when you're focused on something you're building, it takes up so much mental capacity. I don't know how you could try to build something and then still be 100% focused on your day job, you know? 'Cause she's like, oh, it'll be like a side hustle, but could be a way to...
It could consume her.
It could consume
this
you.
Consume me, yeah.
Yeah, that's my only concern. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm still like processing it, trying to figure out. We'll get more information from her on exactly what she's thinking because I'm still not clear around that.
So I go back to the excitement that I had about having it reinforce momentum. So what if it is something that's aimed at your potential clientele too? Like, am I reading this right? What does she plan on doing? The one-to-many what? Like...
Oh, I'm not exactly clear on what it is yet.
All right, well, we'll have her talk about it when she comes on. So
that's what we should do.
We're going to probably have her and Chris. We're going to need some kind of structure to that episode. If they're on at the same time, I don't know how that's going to play out because it's both of them being on for the first time at the same time. Maybe it's like me and you crisscrossing, asking them questions, or like, I think it could play out pretty well because it's like our counterparts, right?
We could have them on at the same time, or we could have two separate episodes.
Yeah, but I think that for dramatic effect, it's better to have them on at the same time. Like, so back to that, like reinforcing momentum, right? So if she did something that could help be a lead flow or a funnel for potential clients for you. I mean, this is how I'm seeing everything I'm doing with Accounting High. Everybody is a partner in some ways, and I could work with them. They could work with us. So nobody's like, remember I always say this on the show, everybody's a friend now. So you could figure out ways to work with each other. Some people don't see it like that and you just can't work with them, but others do. And they find ways. Like, I'm working a lot with Growth Lab and doing a lot of things with them, and they're my friends, and we're all figuring out ways that we could all win from the stuff that we're doing. Right. Like, I got Corey helping me out a lot with this Accounting High stuff. You know, I talk to Dan regularly. Aren't firms supposed to be seen as competitors? And like, you know, they're trying to grow an accounting audience too. And so am I. So why not do it together? Like, and this is how a lot of others are too. Like, Blake always wants to work with others. He doesn't ever see anybody as a competition, especially with the earmark thing. Everybody's like, join, we all win together. Right. So I think you can figure out ways to do that. I understand like your concern, but what if you took some simple tasks and things that Ashley's doing and found ways to outsource that so she doesn't have to do it anymore, and then she can still do her high leverage stuff and still help you, but then also feel very fulfilled by what she's doing.
Yeah,
and reinforce and help
that's
momentum.
That's what we've been doing, because I always know the more I can leverage Ashley, the more it leverages me and our team. So we hired an admin a couple months ago that's been helping her with a lot of stuff that she was doing administratively, and then we have somebody else that's now being trained on onboarding. So she's training them on onboarding, and then she was training somebody else to do 1099s this year. So like just continuing working her way out. The only thing is sales, right? So if we wanted to get her out of sales eventually, we'd have to hire somebody to do sales, or I would have to do it. But I'm like, that's cool. Like,
well, sales is slower though. You don't have a really like heavy sales. Like, you're not dealing with 5 calls a week.
Depends. I mean, eventually I'd like to get there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you get there, then you will need a salesperson or somebody in charge of that. And then, you know, just figure that out. That's actually, you know, something that I still haven't done, because now we're just they handle what they can handle when they can handle it. And it seems to be working. I don't know. If I poked around in there and started paying attention to the numbers, I'd be anxious. I would start taking on more of these sales calls, and I would be doing all of that. And I would, like, all of a sudden we'd have a bunch of new clients, and then they wouldn't know what to do with it. And then, you know, it's just like, keep me out of it for now. This is kind of what I'm saying. We seem to be doing okay. Matthew has outsourced. Like, he used to handle way too much and overburden himself. But because we got this VA, basically Matthew's taken a lot of stuff off of his plate, and EJ's so busy he can't do my show notes. He's too busy with pageant stuff now.
I gotta tell you, like, the first thing you need is an admin or a COO, or an admin that can grow into a COO, and then as soon as your COO gets busy, give them an admin, because you do not want somebody who's that good. If you
Tied up with simple tasks.
If you actually look behind the curtain, I didn't realize how much admin stuff she was doing, especially around our project management system and all that, just maintenance and sales and onboarding. And this just, a lot of it is repetitive. Anything repetitive, give that stuff to an admin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's backup too, right? So if she's gone, Luis is there, and then I don't have to step into that, fill those gaps and trying to remember how things get done.
I think we need to equip everybody with Chat GPT, everybody in this world. I had Julia sign up for it yesterday. I told her, write her term papers with it. Write all your papers with it. Do anything that you need to do written with this, because I wish I had it. That is your calculator. Treat that like your TI-85.
Yeah. And I think that they should let kids just use it, but then they have to put their own. If everybody's turning in the wrong paper, you get a D.
Yeah.
Because you're below average. But if you can use it to elevate your message, it is like a calculator. I think that's a great way to put it. And for me, I struggle with verbalizing or writing down my thoughts, and it's always held me back when it comes to creating content or speaking, because I have a thought in my head and I can't always articulate it. And so this to me just feels like a very useful tool for me to be able to share my message in a way more articulate way. So I think it's great. I think people should use it.
The training, and it's amazing to me how my mom is. She's taking classes and courses to learn to do this better and to use it better. And she's like a lifetime learner, has always been like this. And whenever there's something new, she runs toward it, and she's learning everything she can about Chat GPT. And that's why she wants to help with the newsletter and help with all this stuff, because she wants to learn how to use that better. And you would think, like, at some point you get tired of learning something new. That's basically what's happening to me now. I'm like, I don't even want to mess with it. I'll let other people do it. I am starting to use Jasper because it's built in to everything else now. So when I start typing something, a purple underline comes up, and I just tap the arrow, and it finishes it for me. Like,
does that work on email?
Everything. It's a browser plugin. It's so dope. It's like I just start typing something. God. So I want to learn how to make better prompts, but this is it's so sweet. And I just prepaid for the year for the Jasper, so I'm good. I haven't messed with Chat GPT because I don't want to put my phone number in. I don't want to.
Do you think somebody's going to call you?
I don't know. I'm weird. Like, I probably, you know what? I almost didn't put my phone number in for the app bracket thing too. I won't put it in anywhere anymore. I'm just so scared. No, I'm terrified.
Phone number.
I'm terrified of text turning into what email has turned into. I'm terrified that everybody's going to just start texting you for everything, and it's just going to blow me up. Apple does a pretty good job of separating that.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared of my phone number getting out there, and I think I'm just being weird.
I think that's legit. I think nobody's like, especially B2C, nobody checks their email anymore, like their personal email, because there's so much in there. So now people are actually going back to direct mailing, and probably people are going to start text. I mean, people try to get your phone number, but it's just a lot more difficult, I think, to get that information. So I think it's legit. Maybe you should just set up like a Google number or something.
A burner. So I
email.
can't. That's the point. You can't. I tried my dial pad number. It tests it for VoIP. I tried the Google number. It says it's a VoIP. You need your
it needs to be connected
number
to an actual phone number.
But you know what I can do? Byron said I could just use my Google account to verify it. I think I didn't even do that. Probably should have just done that. Oh, okay. Either way, like I need to start using Chat GPT more too, just to see the differences, and that's why we're going to do these AH times segments. So accounting high times with Byron. We're going to start comparing Jasper and Chat GPT. That's what we did on last week's episode. We did the top 5 happenings, or what's the top 5 topics in the accounting profession. I forgot how we worded it, but both of them gave us answers, and we compared the two. So if you haven't heard that episode, go check it out. I think you actually listened to it, but I'm talking about others. It was that's going to be a weekly segment too. So that's going to summarize the week, and that's going to be our Gazette. So that episode turns into the email. So if you listen to the episode, you don't need to read the email. right? We're basically talking about everything that's going to be in that email newsletter. And the email newsletter is for those that don't listen to the episode. So
For people who like to read.
For people
Not
who
listen.
like to read.
Ashley was, because you know how we had talked about Ashley and Chris in the last episode, and then we tagged them on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then Ashley messaged me and said, hey, is there anywhere I can get the show notes? I'd rather just skim through it. I was like, no, you got to listen to it for the full effect.
Chris doesn't listen to anything either. Both of them are probably the same.
I think it's better that she wasn't listening, because as soon as she listened to the episode, she all of a sudden wanted to go start her own thing. So,
wow, we're inspirational. This is great.
In the worst way possible. No,
I know. That's funny. So I should tell Chris not to listen.
Yeah,
Well, no. I've been telling him to listen since day one, and he usually always does, like, last minute if I say you got to listen to this before this meeting, like, because there'll be some good stuff on there, and I'm like, you got to listen to this because this is going to help us at the firm. Like, I can't articulate this to you. Let him say it, and you got to listen to him. And so, yeah, maybe we should start blogging. That's the other thing too, is the blog are just going to be written forms of this content anyway.
I just
Some people
can't
just prefer to
imagine
read.
all the different directions we go of putting that into.
It's going to be our job as we review our prior episodes. So stay tuned. In February, that's what we're going to start, is we'll go through the topics that we want to talk about and the most popular ones, and we'll start doing the reactionary videos to those and posting them on YouTube. So not only are we taking the content and making it written, we're making it visual now too. We got to reach the YouTube people too. Students can access us from any different direction, from their eyes, their ears, not their nose, and not their mouth. Just their eyes and their ears. And their mind. Open your mind. So I got a new phrase. Free your time, free your mind, grow your bottom line. What does that mean to you?
Say it again.
Free your time, free your mind, grow your bottom line.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Go on to my LinkedIn, because you used to comment on my LinkedIn and tell me how bad it was. I have improved this for you.
Your picture's way better now.
Not just the picture, I changed the banner.
Really?
I hope I have your
speaking
approval.
of LinkedIn, so Go Proposal asked me to be a Go Proposal champion.
Ooh.
So basically what that entails is they're going to pay me to do posts on LinkedIn with and tag Go Proposal in it. It's not a lot of money, but I love Go Proposal. So
yeah, that is so smart for them. They are. So I want to have them on again, and I want to do the 101 of how to do better social and LinkedIn and go deeper on what he started, because that is a useful tool for anybody. I think LinkedIn is very powerful if you get the momentum and you start doing it and you start doing it consistently. You're going to see better results. And I'm learning that now too. I just had a post that almost got 100 likes, and I haven't had one that had 100 yet at all. And all I did was rehash one of Will's article and just did my own little thoughts on it.
Yeah. Because you tagged a bunch of people on it. Probably.
Yeah. Like,
you beat me to that, because I was going to do that, and then I was like, God damn it, Scott.
Yeah. See, now you're going to get mad at me, because we're going to end up doing the same thing, because we think very similarly too sometimes. Yeah. So why don't we just do it anyway? Because our episode that hit 200 was because of our LinkedIn activity. That was definitely because of our LinkedIn activity. I didn't even bring that up. It was not just the title. It wasn't just the content in the episode. It was our summary of it, and that we were passionate about it on LinkedIn and sharing that other people wanted to listen. And that's what hooked them. So there's a hook. So there's a Huda. He's in UK. Great episode. You're going to love this, because he's pretty good on LinkedIn too.
I know his name.
He's real good on LinkedIn. Yeah, you've probably seen him. Super articulate. His British accent. So cool episode, but he talks about storytelling. And that's how he leads all of his posts, with a hook and a story. And the post itself is an actual story. And it takes you through a journey, and then, it's all this other fun stuff. So his LinkedIn is great. So speaking of LinkedIn.
Stories are the best. Whenever I've done a story or like a little case study, those have always performed way better.
Yeah, the one else. Like people refer to your day in the life one. I remember when you first posted that too. I was like, this is perfect. This is like inside your head. You were like, had a diary the whole day.
You don't want to be inside my head.
No, I
don't
feel
wanna be
you.
in your
I feel you
head.
there. So today, like that kind of stuff happens to me all the time. Like I have this uncontrollable amount of anxiety, and like I can turn it into excitement, and I can be really happy or excited about something, but quick as a button, quickly it just turns into like despair and anxiety, and I can't even control it or handle it. I'm like talking to Juana, and I said, I just feel sad for no reason at all. All these good things are happening. People are sponsoring the podcast. Somebody's sponsoring the March Appness. Everything's going well at the firm. There's nothing wrong in the world. And I'm just sad. I can't control it. So
How long does that last?
until we started recording.
Till we start
I'm in a
recording?
better mood right now.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm your
so-
therapy. I'm your therapist.
You're my therapist. Yeah. I don't know. It's like there's just certain times where it just happens. Like it comes in waves. It was like after I ended my last call, I was like, I can't record. Like I was going to call it off, but I never call off anything because I always know once I get on that call or once I get on whatever it is, all of a sudden things start to get better again. So for me, I realized like this is my therapy, having this show and going on these calls and meeting with people. That's my therapy. That's what energizes me. If I have too much time without that, it's like draining. I drain on myself. I exhaust myself too. So thank you for recording with me. That's what people find useful is the real time, real life. What's wrong? What's going on? You're showing a lot of resiliency over time too, that I don't have. Like, and I was going to point this out too, just the way that you are like pivoting. I gave up on the second pivot of the advisory and of that building scheme. Like you hired the CFO, you then went and tried to get your team to do it, and now you're coming up with the next solution. I couldn't even get to round 3. Like I was just like, oh, I'm done. Like this is real life, how they're learning from your mistakes, your failures, and then your successes too, right? So are you, and so am I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing like consultants in the industry that are effectively saying a lot of the same things we already do and how much they're charging. And we're like, we're blending too much of the consulting with the accounting. And then it's this mushy middle where, yeah, we're going to give you accountants that are going to do the consulting. And then we're too afraid to charge for it. So it's like, let's break those two things out. Is where I'm at right now and charge a lot for this. So if I do it or Ashley does it, it's worth our time.
yeah,
Because it's not worth our time if we're charging the accounting rates for it, because I could be going out and getting new business. So what I'm working on right now is I'm trying to get the marketing dialed in. And then the next thing's going to be eventually hiring, like a process for that, which we don't have, which we haven't had to worry about it. And then trying to exit all the parts of the business. So then I can come back full circle and say, okay, I completely exited from every part of the business. Now I can come back and do like high level consulting and charge a ton for it. I think that's where I'm going to end up landing, but we'll see.
just be careful. You know, you're not 100% like me, and that's what happened to me. And I'm at the phase now where I told Chris, what if we just marketed to all of our clients and had me do a monthly call with them and charge another $2,000 just for that.
Yeah.
I'll meet with them once a month, and I can do this. I can do this business coaching. I can do this consulting stuff. I think we can make another X amount of money, like just marketing and getting 10 of our clients on for $2,000 a month. And all I got to do is spend 10 hours a month, maybe 20 hours, because then I have an hour before the call to review to then talk to them and ask them, what are their hopes? What do they hope to get out of this? What are their dreams for the future? And let's not talk about the past. Let's not talk about now. What do you want to get to? I can help you get there. And I probably can help most of them get there. We start with a survey, all of our clients, right? Survey all of them. Where do they hope to get? What are their hopes and dreams? And focus on those things. And those are the solutions. That's the problem that we're solving. And as long as we focus on that and we continue to try and get there, I don't get worked up in the details. I don't care about how all this other stuff gets done. I can be an asset to the firm still because of that life experience, because of the experience that I have with this firm and everything else and all these other conversations I'm having. I'm the asset here, and all you need is my mouth. That's it. I don't want to go into email. Yeah, my mouth and my brain, and that's it. And I can make us money, but you got to do everything else for me. I'm not going to market this. You got to create a type form, ask them these questions.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we won't do it.
And that's where I get hung up is, do I need to build a framework around this? And then there's the insecurity of, am I going to consistently be adding value for them? And also, like, at the end of the day,
it's the imposters thing too, though. Like, do I really have the right to be charging this much for this?
Like, over the last year, has like especially niching, right? Because you just start to get really embedded in understanding that industry and understanding what all the different KPIs are, and just owning a business for longer time, you get more experience. I'm trying to figure out where that's truly what I desire, right? Because I like the freedom of, hey, if I show up to work today, that's great. But if I don't, the business still runs without me. And so as soon as you start adding on that, then it's like, okay, you have to show up to, if you have meetings with clients, customers.
I haven't got to the point where I'm ready to show up again. I was like, all right, I want everything to run without me.
Yeah.
And now, like, I got to get responsible again. I got to actually, so I'm refiguring all of my habits. You know, I've been tracking my daily habits, 12 of them a day. And January, I let a lot of them fall off. Now I'm trying to retool what those are, because do I have to go back into email? Like, does that mean I got to do all of these things if I'm going to show up? And like, to show up, it means I have to be present in what's coming in, the inbound stuff and email and Slack. And I don't want all of that baggage either. I don't want to actually have to pay attention to all that. I've gotten out of that too.
I mean, I still show up, do all day. It's more of the, if I want to go on a trip with you guys for a week, I don't have to worry about client meetings. If, you know, I'm still doing stuff in the background. But ultimately, my passion is, I'm trying to think about, you know, what is my passion? What do I want at the end of the day? How can I help more small business owners? Like, going back to like the one to many. So that's why I'm thinking about the whole YouTube video, or creating a YouTube channel where it's more educational, and then eventually turning it into a course. And maybe there's something Ashley could do too to contribute that on the operations side. So
I love it. I love where it's going. So I can help you. This brings us back to Terrell and LiveFlow. Terrell is going to, and I'll finish my thought on the LiveFlow thing, and we can drop the mic. So Terrell is going to help me create this YouTube thing. He's got the business talk library. He's got playlists. He's doing exactly what I want Accounting High to look like. So we're going to take our middle school years. He already filled in the blank for me. He's like, okay, so I get it. So all the Nick's Tips episodes are like your middle school years, and all the Sons of CPAs episodes, all that, we group those together as like like playlists. And on, like, this has been my vision all the time. I haven't told him this. He filled it in, and that he's exactly right. VarsityTips is the freshman year. High school. We haven't got to our college years yet. We got a ways to go.
We're still in high school.
But we've got our middle school. Yeah. We're still in high school. And he's the one who gave me the idea to do, like, he reviewed our episode on LinkedIn, and he had it playing above him, and he was talking about it. He was basically doing a reaction video to our episode. That's what sort of gave me the idea too, for us to react to our own episodes and do those. So
I think the reaction videos to our own episodes could be good, or they could be a huge bust.
They could be good or big bust, but he loved that idea, because he said that's the 102 class. You've learned more last year, and your perspective on it is different. So it's all about how we approach this. We're actually looking at it like we've changed since we recorded that. So what can we add to that? How can we help ourselves from then with what we've learned now, and expand on those topics? That's sort of how you become a master at some of these topics, is you have to keep revisiting them and reviewing them each year, because your perspective changes and you learn more. You know, we've had more conversations with more people, and we know a thing or two that we didn't know last year. We can teach ourselves something. So, and we're in different rooms too. Your room is like, throughout the year is all these different phases of your room. So then back to Anita, what these solutions are with LiveFlow. So for the wrap, told you to collect as many different use case templates and ways people use LiveFlow, you know, what they use it for and how they use it, and fun stuff, maybe testimonials, a bunch of copy. I need a lot of copy. I haven't figured out what song yet, but it's like, that lends itself to a really good wrap. LiveFlow.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's just
So
going to
many
be
things
like butter. It's going to be like, but like, rap is flow. Like, getting into flow, like, it's going to be fire. We're going to blast it everywhere. I hope that she loves it, and she wants her other, like, when she has she's got a lot of different live flow partners, like, or what do we call them? PR partners, right? This is what I'm calling it now. But it's like kind of like what you're doing, champions, kind of like what you're doing with Go Proposal, right? If she has them play the rap too, if we can do a cool, like, because then more people see it. So it gets in front of more people.
Yeah.
I don't know what artist yet. She doesn't have any idea yet.
That's a good way, too, because you're collaborating. You're tapping into their customer list and audience by collaborating with them. So they'll share your work. Accounting High grows your audience.
Everybody wins on that. For the listeners here, as we do our reactionary videos. So we take that same topic. So Riz's episode, you're going to love this. His topics all start with P. He has the 4 pillars of accounting, and all of them are P words, and all of them we did already. Not only that, this is the stuff that he's teaching to all of his students and all of his accountants out there. And they're all P words. And those are the topics he just goes back. So every episode of his podcast is on one of those 4 topics. Everything he does, those important pillars of profitability, pricing, productization, and I forgot his 4th one. Processes, maybe. I don't know. We got that. People are the purpose. And we've done people and purpose.
And it turned out that they all fell into one of 4 categories. And these 4 categories then became my 4 pillars, which were pricing, people, process, and positioning. I've listed out everything that I've done under pricing, under process, under people, and positioning. And it just so happens that they all start with letter P.
We have done episodes of Nick's Tips on all of those.
The pricing and the positioning go hand in hand. The better you get at positioning, so your perceived value is higher, then you can charge a higher price. So positioning is highly important, because if you can position yourself and increase your perceived value, you're creating more impact in the world.
Productization too. When you turn your services into a product and you position that product.
Marketing is all about finding that person who has a specific problem. You can't know what someone's problem is until you know who it is that has that problem. You can position yourself as the problem solver, because people only take action when they're in pain. People aren't just willy-nilly looking for an accountant when something has happened that's causing them pain in some aspect of their life or their business. You get better understanding what problems do you solve, what problems are going on in your prospects or clients' minds.
What P's have we not done? Like, do we still have a list of P's that we need to get to? Because otherwise we're going to just go rehash the P's.
I think P right now needs to be parting ways.
Peace out, homie.